What is going on? Let me get this to the chat. What's giddy? What's giddy? Good morning, brother. Put this over here. All right, we'll give it a couple minutes. All right. Let's do this thing. If you're here, you're serious about it, and I like it. I can't wait to kick everyone out of the Discord. We're gonna start fresh. Sometimes you gotta reboot to level up. I had a key level here. So we're still holding support on SPY. So that is good, right? The news that came out, I'm not really sure. I'm not a big news guy, to be honest with you. I actually watch Ricky Gutierrez for news. He's really good at explaining news releases. But today we have weekly unemployment claims. I mean, it'll move the market, but nothing too crazy. Excuse me. I do think it's possible to have another choppy day, just waiting for the fourth quarter GDP and job openings. So what's that? Expenditures price index, consumer sentiment numbers. So Friday will be probably very volatile, realistically. So that'll be, sometimes it usually chops when that happens. Obviously, yesterday I told you guys that we're gonna have an inside day. I said that in the chat, and that's why we just took that one little trade, right? So I said there's gonna be an inside day right when the market opened, and that's exactly what we had, right? So you got to know when not to trade, and anytime you're between, let's say, a previous day's high and key support after just a news bounce like that, it usually if breaks support, right, and then we just chop. This whole range is like untested, essentially. Like we have to come back and fill all of this. So that's where all of this chop comes from. It's like, what are we doing? Are we going to go up? Are we going to go down? Now, I do think that if we draw our trend line right here and we come down to this 671, right where we're at, right, we should just pop unless we break to the downside. So if we break to the downside, you could take it short from 671 to 668 if you wanted to. Wouldn't be a bad move. I would probably wait for under that 668. But this was already bounced off of that low. I'll be curious to see. RSI's pretty steady. Um, so I would think that I'm looking for a bounce today, right? We could do that. We could break it and go. This could be just a simple pre-market high break and retest right there, right? So I don't like flooding my charts with levels. I find that like it messes me up a little bit when I have too many levels. So I like doing, just the most simple. I already know that if we get a good push to the upside on SPY and we break right 674, I'm probably gonna put a level there anyways for a stop loss. So I'll kind of just create more levels as we go. That's like putting our key levels on the 1 hour time frame, right? So I do think that we have to sweep sides before we continue. So we'll go. We're breaking it right now. 671. Pre-market 740. I mean, we got time, but all right. We'll go 671. 671 bounce on SPY or 668. I mean, they kind of swept that already. Might want to do it again though. All right, 668 to 671. We'll use that range as a sweep. What's the 4 hour? That's valid. That's valid. Yeah. Watch list. There we go. All right. So, let's get it. So, SPY, I'm going to wait for a bounce today unless we break 668. So, that is what I like to look for. And if not, then we'll take it below that 668 and go. So as far as like confirmations go and waiting for like these moves to happen, this would be like a sweep that you want to wait for, right? So I could show you actually on AMD yesterday what we took. So this was a great entry, right? We come down to a key level of support after a breakout. It's like, sweet, let's walk it down. Entry. Well, that entry didn't hold. Excuse me. The entry didn't hold, so we stopped out on this red candle. Right? So if you think about it, I mean, this is how tight I like to keep my losses. Entry, exit. 205.36 and 205.57. 80. So 70 cents. That's how tight I like it. If it ain't tight, it ain't right. All right. For stocks. If it ain't tight, you gotta keep it tight. All right. And then it becomes resistance. Boom. So keep that in mind, right? Feel like you're gonna miss the play to wait for that confirmation. All right. So 668 to 671 bounce on SPY, or looking for we could do below 668 to 663. 663. Yeah. Let's see if we have 200 here. Oh, nice. Nice. Boom, 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 boom. 668 to 663. Cool. All right. Or above 674.5. For you guys, 674.5. You're on here, you're watching. That's what it is. I'm going to tell these guys 675, but 674.5. Or above 675 to 680 could be a good one. Really 680, yeah, 680. Nvidia is also holding the support, so that's very nice. So hopefully everything bounces today. Honestly, I mean, this would be very easy. Oh, God, I'm terrible at clicking, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? We're gonna sweep. We're gonna come back up. We're gonna bounce. We're gonna go. So don't miss that train. Riding that train out of Gold Game. Running. All right. So yeah, I would still say the 184 bounce is valid on the video, like we talked about the other day. I believe that was 184 bounce or below 184 to 181. So that'll be the same exact level as yesterday. The video 184 bounce or below 184 to 181. Nice. AMD. AMD. We had this bullish bearish divergence on it, so I was expecting that reject. Excuse me. It's pretty small ranges. I'd probably wait for that 199, that 200 bounce on AMD. Excuse me. Yeah, I'll go 200 bounce below 200 to 195.5. Same thing, 200 bounce below 200 to 195.5. Look at that fucking G unit. Damn, maybe all I need is a little bit. So this is same levels. This is what happens when we range, right? It's kind of nice when we just range because it's the same levels. SPY, NVIDIA, AMD are above 206 to 210. Yeah, same thing. Same thing occurs. Let's say Thursday. Yeah, so be a little pricey. Tesla looks good, right? We had that huge pop on Tesla the other day, which is crazy. Slight FOMO on that. Oh man. Someone said in the chat, Tesla looks like it could pop. I'm like, yeah, Tesla looks nice. Sure enough, market open. Freaking 402 to 416 was crazy. That was a crazy move. I had FOMO on that. So we'll see. You can still have that reject. Yeah, it kind of fixed itself now. But yeah, I think it's going to push down since we're back below this resistance. There's a key resistance right here. So this is, you know, this would be your bull bear pivot, right? You want above 410 to get to 416 again, or below this 410 to stay at 39 to go down to 401 to 398, right? Potentially all the way back down. Yeah, we never even retested that. So I think we're going to come back down to that. I don't think I put, I don't know why I don't think I put level around in that train out of cocaine. Might be able to take it back down. And then if anything, we'll go from 401 to 395 about. I think that would be pretty valid. So, yeah, I think that would be valid. So these ranges are previous day high and previous day low. Yes and no. I mean, you do mainly for like SPY. I pay attention to the London and Asia sessions high and low, just because SPY will, with ES that respects London lows and London highs more. I feel like from what I've traded, other companies, London sessions or Asia sessions don't really matter. Like they do, but it's more of like continuation. Like you could just tell that we held this resistance from London session, right? Like we could just tell that we held it. So now I think that New York session, we're gonna have to come grab what we missed out on yesterday, right? To get that retest to continue higher, or to break below and grab more down here, right? So I don't, this would be previous day support, right? It's not a high or a low. It would just be like a previous day support. But you could go inside that, or you can make that a zone if you wanted to. Like you could be like, okay, I could expect a bounce in this area. You could always do that as well. I just know that like the way that I trade would be, I know if we break below here that we're already testing this. So if by the time we come back to this resistance to test it, we're gonna break through it and go back to the other side, have that change of character to go back, and that would be our sweep. But if we break through it and we walk it back and we reject here and we start seeing this happen here, well then I know that it's holding strong and we could take it back down to this 395, right? Does that make sense a little bit? That's where the patience comes in. So like when I first started trading, it was very hard because I was very antsy. So I usually had zones drawn. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait for it to completely break this zone, which usually entailed the retest and then the continuation, and then I would enter the continuation, which isn't a bad way to do it. I just like, I'd be trying to snipe some entries. But great question. Hood. Yeah, maybe we could just leave hood. Whatever. Just leave it in the range. That's really it. It's broke below there. Qs. You guys got any other companies we're looking at? What are we looking at? Amazon. Everything's chopping again. This market, if you guys are taking a lot of losses, first off, I want to say that like if you're trying to do this shit by yourself, it is a hard market. I mean, we are just ranging. Like if you don't understand sweeps and retests, it is hard to trade because it's not clean movement. So look, so PLTR, let's chart together. We got support right here at 149.5. That's, you can tell that that's holding support. If we break below that support, we could probably take it back down to 145. That's a pretty good move. That's a $4 move, right? That'll eat. To the upside, I would probably wait for that. I mean, you could wait for that break of 153. Let's see. PLTR doesn't look too bad. It's kind of in the accumulation phase, right? So 153 to 156 to probably go like 159. But even 153 to 156 would be valid. That's a good trade. So you could wait for that on PLTR, and then below 149.5 to 145. I like the downside better, but we have bullish divergence right here. So, we're, well, kind of like a hidden divergence because it's not really making lower lows. It's kind of like an even low, but the RSI is making higher lows, right? So I do think that we should see that a push to the upside. But you never know. So be ready for both sides. Never stay strong to your bias. Wait to see what it does. React to it and not predict, right? What else we got? That was good. PLTR is a good one. It's not too shabby. I'll take it to the downside if that alert goes off. I'd take that. It actually kind of looks like a... What does this look like? Here we go. Chart pattern testing. What time is it? 76. Nice. Oh. What that look like? What that look like? Bring it over here. Boom. What that look like? See what I'm saying, y'all? It's a game. This is a game, bro. What? Usually gamers, if you a gamer, you can make money. This is a game. The best game you could ever play. I'll tell you that much. Look at that. All right. So now we just see if it happens. Right? We just get confirmation down. We could ride it down. So I would probably leave some runners on this one. Right? This is our neckline right here. So look, just like it says right there, this is our neckline for the head and shoulders. All right. And then that's our entry, is that break below the neckline. Fire. Yeah, so they show it like that too, but I don't like doing that. They go like on the angle there, and once you break it, just keep it simple. Complicate shit. That's nice. That's nice. All right. What else? What else you want to look at? Is that all we got? 7:58. Probably got time for one more. What's UNH been doing? We used to trade UNH a lot. This has been accumulating down here. I also have UNH equity long terms, right? So if you guys need to make sure you're also looking at this, because this is game. Like, this is just to build your portfolio, right? This is just something to buy companies, like just buy into and just hold forever, reinvest dividends. Like they do 221 dividends a quarter. That's fire. Um, December, March, yeah. So, yep. Yeah, that's it. That's it, y'all. You know what to wait for. Look, we're already getting that bounce. Let's see if it holds. See if we can break above that 675 and take the 680. So for these, you're holding shares. Yeah. So unless I give you, like the leaps, right? So for the leaps, I say entered hood 105 calls expiration 15 January 27. Then that's the leaps, and then the equity is like added to equity portfolio. Microsoft 395, UNH 290. If I just give you a number, it's just equity. If I give you an expiration date along with a number, it's a leap option. Let's go, baby. We live, baby. All right. Have a good day. We'll do the recap later. Be patient. Wait for your confirmations. Let's fucking get it, baby. Oh, risk management. Risk management. It's okay to be wrong in the trade. It's a strategy game. There's no 100% win rate.